Okay, got some supply air finished up and working on return air here. Um, I did notice in my previous that this duct here is supposed to be a 4-inch duct, and I had it as a 6. So if you did that, you'll want to change both of those. Okay. Um, Trying to think where I left off. There's lots of things here that you haven't done yet, but I want to start with the return air system here. Um, and I kind of put it in place. And after I'd worked on it a little while, I had to do a justify it to the right side over here. So you could do that as you put it in, and those sizes. Let me pull down this and I kind of use the same offset. I can't remember. That one was -6. Anyway, wanted it up close to the floor, kind of the same. And let me go back to the plan here. So you can kind of pop those in, and you can see I'm a couple of feet or so off of the beam. This was a little interesting down here, so let me go to that section. Okay, so what I did, I came under the furnace unit and I put a vertical section of duct. It's 24 by 20, because if you click on uh, the the outlet at the bottom of the anyway, it tells you what size the outlet is. Okay. Anyway, so I put in a 24 by 20 duct and it's vertical, and kind of had to play with it a little bit to get it lined up because it won't connect automatically. I don't know. Okay, and so this piece of duct here was 25 by 10, and I edited the settings on it to include an elbow that is a radius of one W, which is 1 times the width of the ductwork. And in doing these, I'll show you in a moment how once you've got one run, put it because like this piece you'll put in your floor plan view, and you can come back in your section and get your elevation right or whatever. But then these have to be put in a section view, okay? And this is not how they would build it. Um, and I don't know. I didn't think to look and see if um, there's right angle elbows for this. Let me look and see real quick while we're here. I mean, I just thought about it. Rectangle elbows. I've just been using the radius elbow. Hmm. Minor trans. There's lots of things that we could play with. We can do it this way for the class. That's not how they would install it. Okay, I'll just go ahead and tell you that. This piece of duct would come down. There'd be a cap on the bottom, and then it would attach to a transition going into this piece here at the bottom. Um, anyway, we're kind of playing around with this thing to learn how to do it. Okay, I got to pause the video. I got a message coming in. Okay. Uh, yeah, I was looking for that. I'm not going to worry about changing that. Okay. I was telling you how to go from one view to another. Anyway, this and I did a transition here. Um, my duct is 10 by 25. I made it 16 by 16 going into this piece of duct here, which is 24 by 20. And I just had to play with the offsets on it so that it would kind of line up and be, you know, flat on the bottom and flat on one side. Anyway, okay, so back to basement plan. I got that up, and these were coming. These I just kind of drew these down, aligned them to the upper side or the right side as they're drawing. It should pop in the transitions for you automatically. And then return air. Um, I edited the register boot, made a 14 by 6, 8-inch diameter, and these go up into the floor. This is it right here. Okay. In reality, on the plans, those are going to be in the wall, and there'll be a hole cut in the sole plate and through the subfloor, and the joist bay would be sealed off with gypboard or sheet metal to create a kind of a plenum inside the joist bay. Well, we don't have a way to do that in Revit that I know about anyway. So that's why I'm doing a register boot on the floor with a piece of ductwork and coming into the top of the return air denim, plenum here. So when it as I was drawing this across and I came down and I came down, I didn't come all the way to the middle of it, but I just kind of stopped kind of halfway here, and it would put the elbow into the duct there without trying to do a connection, because this being an 8-inch duct, there's not enough room. Anyway, so I got one of those in, and I just copied it down to this one and adjusted the length of it. Okay, we have another one over here, and I just use the same size. I mean, the plans show a 30 by 6, but once again, that's going to be wall mounted, and I don't know of a way to do it in Revit. Okay. So those are those things. Okay, now then this goes up into for the second floor. And let me flip my section and go to that, and I'll show you what we're talking about. Confusing, eh? Okay, here, this one is the return air. And I should have told you this at the very beginning. When you start running your first duct back here, these things, as you're doing it, right down here, system type, change that to return air. And as you're putting these things in, you want to check that and make sure that they're set to return air. Okay, because all of these are going to be set to supply air. Okay. All right, back to my section here. All right, what I did with this is this one is an 8. They're both 8 by 10s, but because of the way it's connecting here, I made this one an 8-inch width, 10-inch depth, and I started at the top and I drew it down. Okay, and then clicked, and then clicked again and brought it into here. Okay, so that one was pretty easy enough, and it'll put the elbow in. And you may have to move things. You may have to move this over and then move it back. That's okay. All right. This one is the supply air, and it's a little complicated. I'm going to go to first floor. So, okay, so I've got it coming out of the top of this duct, running across the floor, making a turn, and then coming up. So the way I drew this one is I came here. I mean, you can do it in the section view. You just got to remember, when you're drawing things in section view, it's drawing it on the cutting plane. Okay. In And so you can kind of draw it across and then come down with it. And same as before, don't go all the way to the center or one of the snap points on it, but it'll just pop right in there. And I came over here and I stopped and went back to floor plan. And then I clicked on it. If you click on an existing duct and you go to the end, one of the end handles, and you right click, well, I can't do it here because I already got duct on it. Okay, but you could right click and go draw duct, and then you start your draw command over. And so that's what I did is I drew one coming into here and then stopped and then went to this section view. Okay, and grabbed the handle at the stop point, came over, and then came up into the attic space. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to work on the second floor, and I'll show you how those things are done, and then you'll be able to kind of finagle those things around a little bit. So let me pause this video and then start another one.